perceive it to be. Life is not good, and though life is qualified in this, it's like this qualifies life. Breath also qualifies life, and like life can be transformed into a lot of things. You know, solid can be transformed into something else. Like water becoming a vapor, it goes out there, becomes gas and everything. So I think life is unlimited. And so when I find myself stuck, not being able to get through things the way I want to get through it, I just relax, take a breather, and believe it is possible. And with time, listening to my intuition, I'm someone who's very intuitive. I listen to myself. The answer comes, like, okay, do this. And I listen, and then I take the measure I'm supposed to take, and I keep moving. So if you can listen to yourself, pay attention properly, not in the noise. You might not hear yourself properly when you're in a place that is noisy. Sometimes take some time off, go sit somewhere alone, maybe in the garden, or just in your room, not making noise, and just listen to yourself, your own thoughts, your own heart. Reflect, and then you see. So anything is possible. Like with that, like that's my motivation. Like I don't really go out there looking out for someone to motivate me. It's the self that's within me. Yeah. Hello.
Please, I'm Marilyn. Hi.
Marilyn?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes, please, I'd like to ask, what do you usually talk about in your spoken word? What are the ideas that come to mind? And how do you feel when you are performing?
How do I feel when I'm performing? I feel free. Being on the stage is one of my very free times. Like I'm just free. Nobody can hold me, and you become my audience. I am the magic. Like while I'm here, I'm the magic. The first question. You said something like the first. What I usually I talk about anything. Like I said, like life is not like static. It's always in motion. Like I can talk about love. I can talk about sex. I can talk about politics. I can talk about religion. I can talk about everything. Like nature, anything at all that makes sense. And sometimes words in themselves do not make any sense, but it's how you put them together, how you string them. It's like a beat by itself, like one beat by itself is nothing. Like unless you string it, you can put it on. It's just like a broom. If you have just a broom, hello. If you have just one stick, one broomstick.
So that you can just explain it.
If you have just one broomstick, you can sweep with it, and it's likely to break. But if you have a lot of them put together, then you have a bunch or a bundle that you can do things with. So poetry makes that kind of sense to me, that kind of meaning to me. So for me, this is what it is. Like when I'm here, I'm free. I'm free. Like I'm free. I'm able to say the things I want to say. If you give me the platform, yeah. If not, I'm still okay. Free within me. Yeah.
Okay, so we're streaming live on Facebook, courtesy of Aidoo. And Indusa wants to know, is there any future in poetry at all in Ghana?
Asking if there's any future with poetry at all in Ghana is just like asking if there's any future with governance, any future with the politics. Looking at what our politicians have been up to all this time. Is there any future? Unless we awaken, there is no future. Unless we start doing what is right, there is no future. You keep on dying. Dying does not necessarily mean you dying and getting buried, but you not being able to fulfill yourself, like while you are here, your purpose. If you have not fulfilled that, then I think you're just an empty vessel. You've not achieved anything. And it's not just about building a house or buying cars, but there's more to the human being. So for me, there's a future with poetry, and I'll keep on doing my part. And I believe others are taking up the mantle to do their part. It's not just poetry, maybe photography, other forms of art and expression. So there's future if you keep at it, if you keep consistent, there's a future. Like you can build. Rome was not built in a day. The walls of China were not built in a day. The Great Pyramids of Egypt were not built in a day. And poetry, the great one. And so poetry, for it to fulfill itself, will take a lot of effort, continuous action, persistence, consistency. So anything is possible if you keep building, if you keep making efforts. That's what I think. So once I keep doing my part, there is future. Once you keep doing your part, there's a future.
Okay, so can we get our last question?
Okay, my name is Susan Lamte, and I have two questions. The first one is doing spoken word over music or over beat and piecing down on paper. Which one do you prefer and why? And the second one is poetry lucrative in Ghana?
Doing spoken word over beat or writing it on a piece of paper, which one do I prefer? I think people assimilate knowledge or are able to appreciate knowledge in various forms. Some people, when they read, they're able to catch it or understand properly. Some people like have a very sensitive ear, like when they listen, they pick up easily. So for me as an artist, like I do not just consider myself as a poet, but I'm an artist. Like I'm finding other mediums to express myself, to get things out there for other people to be able to understand what it is I'm doing, to communicate my thoughts, my expression, my feelings. And so I'm trying to appeal to more than one sense, not just a sense of hearing your sight, but maybe to feel as I speak, or maybe touch you, maybe you feel as part of my performance. So yeah, I'm exploring mediums, like I'm developing, like I started drawing, started painting, developing the singing part also. So I do not prefer any of them, depending on how I feel and what I think would be appropriate for my audience. I get on with it, so it's not limited. You know, yeah, that's it for me. And then you ask if poetry is lucrative in Ghana. Anything if properly done is lucrative. Like if I package myself very well and reach to the right people, yes. But for now, it's challenging. Feeding it, like I work on a I do a day job. And let's say I steal some time from the office to come here and do some stuff. Or in the evening when I have a show, I charge for the show and all of that. But then it will take time. If I'm doing it like part-time, like full-time, I'll have more energy and be able to read to the kind of audience I want to get to. Then in that case, I'm likely to fulfill that part like quickly. But for now, it's very challenging. And so it depends on the kind of network of friends or people that are getting into who you are selling to, who hears you properly, you know. So that's what I can say. Sometimes you make money, sometimes you don't make money, but we do it for the passion and for what we want to get out there. It's a form of education for me. So it's a tool I'm using. So it's not all about the money, but if I'm able to make good money with it or from it, it's cool, very cool for me, fulfilling. Then I can stop doing my job as a civil servant and then go straight forward into it. And I believe if I get into it full time, I'll be of more benefit to the society because there might be things I'll be able to say, some other people will be able to say, you know, to let it out there and let the creative fire breathe, you know, to catch fire. So that's it.
Last question.
Okay, my name is Teresa, and my question is, how do you feel when you're performing on stage and you give all that you have out and you still don't win the crowd?
How do I feel if I give all of myself and I still don't win the crowd? Did I win you today? Are you sure? Did I win you today?
Oh, come on. I tried the best you can.
The last one. How do I feel if I'm on stage? I give my all and I don't win it. For me, my art is not to impress. I communicate. I leave you with an impact. Even if you feel you've not been impressed, maybe you will take something from what I've shared with you. You go back home. It keeps on knocking on the doors of your mind until something becomes true. So it might not be in that very moment, like this very moment, but I might have by all means leave you with something, and maybe when you go back, you keep on pondering, thinking. It sparks you up, it inspires you to do something. So it's not always about the moment, but it's a long-term impact also. So my art is not to impress you, it's to communicate, it's to express. Well, I could do some stuff that could impress. That is if I want to do. But I have not really been in a space where I've not been really appreciated, you know. So for me, I don't really know how to do that, but it's all part of the art. I can do stuff and maybe you don't appreciate it, but I leave and then I don't know. That does not bother me. It doesn't really bother me to do my stuff and not be appreciated. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, please, can you clap your hands? Remember, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, we have a seminar on the first floor, and it's you don't give me this. If you don't give me this, I won't give you that. The effect of psychological contract violation on contextual performance, featuring Dr. Richmond Akorli. Incredible thing, yeah? And it's not just about, it's about contracts and stuff. So business school. And we'll be finishing soon. I just wanted to ask you, is there anything that you would have loved anybody to ask that we didn't ask that you want to understand?
No, I think the moment has made itself what it is. I'm happy for all of your questions. I don't think there's anything unique in I might want you to ask me, you will ask. I think this moment is unique in itself. So I appreciate you for having me.
We appreciate you so much. So let's do it up again for Elikplim, Akorli. And we hope you'll be coming again. We don't have a lot to give, but we have a nice amateur certificate, which we are not ashamed. We should have framed it and then put in glass and stuff, but we're just trying to hook things up. So later we'll give him a chance to talk about his publications, and of course I need to know where people can friend you and follow you. So we'll talk about that. But for this moment, I want you all to join me to say a big thank you, to show appreciation for him coming here, and that comes through this wonderful. And it's not cheap. It's kind of cool, but it's paper, and it's a lot of our heart goes into everything that we're doing here, just as the work that you do, your work. So, we really appreciate
Thank you so much.
And so when people want to reach you on social media, where do they go and how do they reach you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram as a God of Poetry.
God of Poetry.
The God of Poetry.
One word.
The God of Poetry.
God of Poetry. One word.
And on Facebook, Elikplim Akorli. So yes.
And we're definitely bringing him back next semester. Definitely bring him back. Last time we'll do it in style, and the certificate will be framed, and then do that. And also before we go, Young Chicky's in the house, and he'll be performing. And then also Patrick will be doing an incredible gospel track. But sir, so tell us about this book briefly before we leave here.
This is a collection.
Purple Hamilton.
This is a collection I put together in the. I will.
You should have somebody in center for signature.
I will get. I have some copies here. So.
Fantastic. And you should all come later to the center. But how much is one each?
One is 50 cedis, but I think for the school I can reduce the price.
To
how much would you want to have it? How much?
It comes illustrations and
How much? How much? How much? 100. Really?
Who said that,
some quality print, comes with illustration, and the ones we'll have at the center will have his autograph. How much you go by?
It would have been really cool to just give out copies for free. It would have been very cool. That means I think you guys like very free things, and as a result of that, we are not so responsible and we don't really appreciate the things we have. So as students, I think it's good to hold you responsible for your actions and inactions. So the book will be sold for 30 cedis instead of 50 cedis. But if you go out there to get copies, it goes for like 50 cedis, 60 cedis, and sometimes even more than that, depending on where you're buying it from. But I think for this space, I'll leave copies in 30 cedis. 30 cedis it goes. 30 cedis, 30, yeah.
So we'll be at the center for 30 cedis. Anybody who gets a copy, 5.12, Father exam. I'm serious, guys. So, just to show him a big AUCC bye-bye, we want Young Chicky to come and just spend something, just to let him know that we really treasure. Give it up for Young Chicky.
Please, I don't have a track here, so I'll do a freestyle. A cappella.
You have.
Okay. One was request one door. Sassam no work so I'm from home and son of Kwasi any betty my grobe good and some metite man pupu nimbo maria one son mala many uncle were behind the track of Bema all because of money pa but I was clever yeah my brother had a bullet in my arms and son more but I you ready but love your neighbor ask yourself why you wait you know who says share West I want one chance in Obia couldn't even now one can ask yourself why you the hate pack yourself you who did now who sabra one when you gotta be positive, you're negative, my nigga. So free your mind. Yes, our physics say your house go there the cemetery, one casa. Okay,
so yeah. So that's John Chicken. And Patrick will be coming now. Elikplim will do a reading from the book, and then we can call it a day. Okay, so Elikplim, Akorli, reading from Purple Hammerton. What are you reading? What are you reading?
I'm wondering. I have a piece called Ode to the Muse. Ode is like a praise song or praise poem to my muse.
This is the last performance of the star.
And then there's another one called Hamatan Rose. So which one do you?
Hamatan Rose. While he selects, would you like to hear me do some guitar? Yeah.
Oh yes.
How much you gonna pay me for that? Come on, you can do better than that. So now, Elikplim, Akorli, and Hamatan Rose.
Like all things, love is effort. That's what holds the scales of balance. A tip to a fall or an embrace despite the breaks from the thorns. To pick a rose, one must bleed a little. Green thorns, sharp and pecky, must necessarily make a scratch. Jog the mind, startle the body a bit for remembrance. Like all things, love is effort. What's your embrace? I want to know what it is. that inspires your bloom. Like all things, love is effort. What's your embrace? I want to know what it is that inspires your bloom. Hamatan Rose.
Give it up, give it up, give it up. Remember tomorrow, 2 o'clock, if you don't give me this, I won't give you that. Effect of psychological contract violation or contextual performance. 5 points for anybody there. And Friday, you all know what's happening Friday?
Friday!
I can hear you. What time? 4 p.m. Charlie, let's give a final rousing bye-bye to a big band who will be coming again. Elikplim Akorli. Elikplim Akorli. I'm sorry, before we leave, we've got Patrick on the mic. He's going to do a gospel track, and it's a beautiful song for all your punk-ass people. This is perfect.
Shower on the left.
I want to make some
Shower on the left.
Michael, Ramadan, and to all the 200 students.
The one song.
Spirit lead me to the cross.
Sharon. 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 How about that,
My faith will be made stronger.
Sharon. Sharon.
Let me walk on the waters wherever you may call me. Take me deeper than my feet would ever want. Faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. On the waters, wherever you may call me. You call me God, you call me God.
Hamatan Rose. Sharon. Sharon. Sharon the left. Sharon. Sharon. Hamatan Rose. Sharon the left. Hamatan Rose.